We're back to hardball. He was a kid from South Dakota who got to cover the end of the Nixon nightmare and, more importantly, the fall of the Berlin Wall.
It is overcast and raining in Washington as President and Mrs. Nixon prepare to leave the White House for the last time as the first family.
And we have a remarkable development here tonight at the Brandenburg Gate.
He interviewed the great Nelson Mandela.
I know you've not been out of prison for very long, but have you been able to block the worst memories of those years from your life, or do you live with them every day?
No, it's difficult to do so.
Well, he offered a reassuring voice the morning after the nation was hit on 9/11. Let's watch that.
Profile of Manhattan has been changed. There's been a declaration of war by terrorists on the United States.
And now he brings us a book about his own personal battle, which interrupted what he calls his lucky life. Joining me now is NBC News special correspondent Tom Brokaw, the author of A Lucky Life Interrupted. Tom, it's so great to have you on. And the book has so much charm and, obviously, without overstating it by yourself, a lot of guts in it. And I have to go back to the Berlin Wall because I was there about 5 or 6 days later, and you were there. This thing about being a great journalist, I want to pay credit to you. It's showing up. It's being there, and then you're there when the lightning strikes. Could you just describe it when you got the word that the bureaucrats of East Germany had just said something very casual like, we're letting people out?
Yeah. Well, I was stunned by that. I had gone because, as you remember, East Germany was in some turmoil, not much going on here. Jerry Lamprecht, our foreign editor, says, why don't you go to Berlin? He said, that's a pretty good story. We had no idea, of course, that the wall was going to come down around us, and there was that announcement by a mid-level bureaucrat who had misinterpreted what the Politburo had in mind. And as I stood there that night, I realized how symbolically important this was, as well as physically important, that the wall was down. It was the final nail in the coffin of communist Soviet Union, and it was a thrill to be there, Chris.
Well, we all know you're a great storyteller, and one story was so poignant. When you were being treated, you were asked, because of who you are, to go visit a young kid who's a soldier, a U.S. soldier, his leg was about to be amputated. And you went in there, and had to give the kid, to buck him up, and tell what you had to go through to do that. What you said.
Well, what happened is that I had been out hunting in South Dakota with my friend Bob Carey, who lost a leg below the knee in Vietnam, as you know. And I was going to Walter Reed a lot in those days, and I went down to the orthopedic ward, and the doctor said, I just removed a young man's leg. He's heavily sedated, and but he insists on saying something to you, and he won't talk to me again if you don't go in there. So I went in, a young man from Texas, and he was heavily sedated. I grabbed his hand, began to squeeze it, and I said I was just with a friend of mine who lost a leg beneath the knee in hunting in South Dakota. He ran through the fields and over the fence. I couldn't keep up with him. There is life after losing your leg, and I want to thank you for your sacrifice and for your service. I was very clutched up at that point. Yeah. He gave me a very weak smile through his closed eyes and squeezed my hand back, and I walked out, stumbled out really. And the doctor said, I'd like you to go from room to room, because that's the kind of story you want to tell. I came back and called Bob Carey. I said, you got me through this really tough day. And Bob, long pause, said, you talked about my hunting? I said, yes. And he said, you didn't tell him I couldn't hit anything, did you?
That was the stunning part of the book, that this war hero, this Medal of Honor winner, couldn't hit the barn door with a canoe paddle. Anyway, in your book, you took President Obama and Democrats to task for the rollout of Obamacare, especially the original promise by the president, everyone would be able to keep your doctor. But fairly there, you also called out the Republicans for not offering anything of their own. You wrote, they chose to simply make it a political football, punting at every opportunity. Well, now we got this whole question this summer with the Supreme Court ruling on ACA. And how do you feel being a person who's been involved in this system, a cancer victim, if you will, and you've been through it, you've seen other people in different situations with no money, no connections, just regular, everyday people, as Hillary calls them. What have you learned philosophically through all this experience?
Well, I do think that we need to reform health care in this country, and especially for the people who are at the bottom of the ladder, if you will. I thought it was important at the beginning of this process for the president to ramp up along the way and begin with those who didn't have coverage, because it's a very complex plan, and people were very tied into the medical establishment that they have in this country. They like their doctor, they like the hospital. A lot of them did health care plans that were imperfect, but they were theirs. And then we had a 2,800-page document that came out, and it became very quickly, as I said, a political football. You know, it's working well where it's working well. In other areas, there's a lot of confusion. But the Republicans and a lot of major corporate chieftains who are very Republican say to me, you know, a big part of the burden is on the Republican Party because they haven't come up with anything. It's still 17 to 18% of our GDP, healthcare in America. It will only stay there or get larger because of the cost of producing all these new medical miracles that we are producing in pharmaceutical laboratories and in the operating room, Chris. So there is no more important part of the future of this country. It's a big idea that needs to be engaged. And what I've been saying about American politics now, the only big idea is to go small. And I think that's wrong.
Well, people like you, Tom Brokaw, and I just want to ask you a personal question. Bob Casey, the late governor of Pennsylvania, once told his son, you know, in the end, celebrity disappears, and what's there left, what you're left with is your family, your God, and your health insurance. That's where you are. You've been there. What have you learned that we should all know because you've been there?
Well, at the end, what you talk about, first of all and foremost, is that your family counts most of all. I couldn't have gotten through this without my wife and my daughter, who's a doctor, and my other 2 daughters, and all my grandchildren. There are just some of them now. They were critically important to me. They bucked me up at the right time. There was no self-pity going on in our household, as you might expect. Meredith was the kind of not Nurse Ratched entirely, but she'd stand in front of me and say, no, you're not going to go there. And my daughter, the doctor, would give me the latest notes that she'd compiled on the disease. My middle daughter is in the music business. She would keep me apprised of what was happening there and keep me up to date on the millennials and what they were up to. My youngest daughter had our first boy. We've had 3 daughters and 4 granddaughters, and suddenly we had a boy in the family. And she'd say, Dad, I know it seemed like a terrible year, but we had Archer. And that gave me a real lift as well. So you start with that, and at the end of your life, however famous you become or however successful you are, if you don't have that core, nothing else counts.
Well, it's as they used to say, the intellectuals would always say at college, a good little book. And it really is a good little book. A lucky life interrupted. Actually, this is an odd thing to say, but it's almost like beach reading. It's an upbeat book. It makes people feel. It's got a fine quality to it, a lot of charm in it, and a lot of great little stories about things that aren't related to being sick. Anyway, Tom, thank you so much for being on. It's a great book.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, I've been very gratified by hearing from cancer families saying we needed to hear that story, and then people who don't have cancer in their families, they also need to hear it so they can deal with it if it comes to them or deal with their friends who have it. So it really accomplished what I set out to do, which is to share my experience with everyone else.
It's very affordable. It's a good, affordable book. I checked the price. Thank you very much, Tom Brokaw. Up next.